in June.
All right. All right, go ahead, Coach. I just got there.
Yeah, thank you, Adam, for waking up. So, welcome everybody. It's been a while since we've been together, and we've had a lot going on. The first thing I would like to mention is the passing of Billy Packer. I mean, that's a change in all of our lives, and he was such an icon. And our thoughts and prayers go out to the Packer family, and especially Mark, who we work with a lot. And people that change your lives as announcers are really special to us, and we all remember some of the games he called and some of the things he said. And so he will truly be missed. And every time I see Mark and talk to Mark, I think about his dad, because I was kind of raised on him when I was here before. So really, Mark and family, thoughts and prayers are for you, and your dad was so important to all of us, and we will miss him. I know you will too, but we sure will. Recruiting in January is fun. We're through with the 23 class. We're out looking at the 24 and 25 class, and you can't sit and talk to them when you're out in the schools, but you can have a casual greeting, which means you can shake hands and say hello in the hallway and move on. But it's great to see high school coaches. We don't get to do that much anymore, and I actually had a high school clinic with Eastern North Carolina coaches the other night. That was so much fun to get and sit and visit with them, because those are things we missed during COVID, and as head coaches you don't get to do a lot. So but recruiting's going really well. We're excited about the opportunities. We know more about the transfer portal and how to handle it than we did 2 years ago. It changes. We're all navigating new waters. We know more about recruiting with NIL than we did 2 years ago. So I do think things are settling down some, and we're getting a better feel of who we are, where we fit in the new world of recruiting and transfer portal and NIL. And that helps us and makes us much more comfortable as we're going forward. Got some great news today that Ed Montelis came to see me, and he wants to come back and play. So good for Ed. And he decided that I said, why? And he said, I miss it. I miss my guys. I miss the workouts. I miss every day. He said, it's who I am, and I talked to my family about it. So Ed will be participating in spring practice. He'll have an operation on a wrist to clean it up a little bit. So he'll be out at spring practice, but he'll be going through drills and will not be full contact. But that means we'll have 4 of our 5 starters back from the offensive line, which is great news for us. We only played 5 guys basically last year, so we always talk about being too deep. We're going to lose all 5 of those guys next year, so we've got to be too deep. We have got to start playing younger players and get more guys ready to play at that position. The ACC schedule comes out tonight. We've already got one of the toughest schedules in our school history when you open up with South Carolina and Charlotte, and we got App State, which we know how tough that game is for us, coming in here the second week. Then we've got Minnesota the third week, and that out-of-conference schedule will be tough as any in the country. And then you start, when you see the ACC schedule tonight, you'll see they didn't do us any favors. It's really, really difficult. We start tough, and we finish with an unbelievably tough schedule. So I'm disappointed. I told them I didn't like it, didn't think it was fair, but it is what it is, but that's what we got. So you'll see what I'm talking about tonight. It won't take long for you to figure it out. So be sure and tune in and get it. I've already seen it, and I addressed the staff with it, and I haven't been able to tell the team. I'll send it to them right before you guys get it for tonight's meeting. But I was disappointed. I didn't think it was fair to our team the way it was scheduled. We started looking at changes after our 2 offensive coaches left. And what you do in your 5th year, you start addressing changes when somebody leaves. What needs to be fixed? And we were better last year with fewer tackles for loss on offense. We were better with fewer sacks. We were better with red zone touchdowns. We still weren't good enough. And so what I needed to address is somebody who was familiar with our offense. And I talked to a number of offensive coordinators across the country, and Chip Lindsey was the one that has run this offense. He's run this passing game. But he and Gus Malzahn did a tremendous job with the running game. And they had fewer sacks. And they had fewer tackles for loss. So I felt like that fit. And then he is very close to Randy Clements. And Randy is one of the best teachers as an offensive line coach. And the offenses that he's had were really good at running the ball. And the running game's the best friend of the quarterback. So I thought those guys fit because what they did is they answered questions that we have that we've got to get fixed. And I thought we did a better job of that last year. We still didn't do a good enough job to get where we need to go. One of the reasons we lost to Georgia Tech, we had 6 sacks. And you can't have that. It's just ridiculous. So, and the other thing is, as Drake and I talked about, he wanted somebody to really help him with all the fundamentals, the footwork and throwing motion. And Chip's got 2 guys in the NFL. So that really worked well for us. When we started looking at defense, Dre and I had a great conversation, I don't know, a month ago now probably, and he and I both talked about all the wonderful things he's done for this place. He's like a son to Sally and I, and he's an icon. He's one of the best players that's ever played at our school. He has 13 interceptions, and he's in the Hall of Fame, and he helped us so much in recruiting. He helped us get hype here when we were so down 4 years ago. And he hadn't coached before. And I threw him into a tough world of coaching that he hadn't been in before. So what he and I talked about is he's ready to branch out, and he really would like to try his hand at the NFL. And he's got a world in the NFL. He's one of the best to ever play there, too. He'll end up being in the Hall of Fame. So that's where he really wanted to branch out and look at other things. And he said he's a lot further along now than he was 4 years ago. He's got 4 wonderful years of coaching and experience under his belt. I talked to him this morning. We've talked a lot. We've had great conversations. He's still one of my favorites and will be, and will be a young man that I love and mentor the rest of my life. With that being said, then you've got to figure out, again, what do you do to fix what you got wrong? We've got to have better communication in the secondary. We've got to make more plays in the secondary. We've got to play the ball better in the secondary. We've got to make more tackles in the secondary. So I asked Gene and Charlton to give me a group of names that they would like to talk to, and they had 11 people. And they vetted 11 people, and they got it down to 3. And of those 3, the one that came out on top, because I was able to, and this is the only one I talked to because he was exactly what we wanted, and it fit perfect for us, and that was Jason Jones. I've always heard of Jason. He worked with Sparky at Alabama. He played at Alabama. He obviously worked with Charlton at Indiana. So they had some continuity. He will know some of the terminology that we're using now, so it'll be an easy transition for him. He will be coaching safeties, and Charlton will be coaching corners, and they've done that. They've worked together in that area before. And you start looking at Jason, he's got 20 years of coaching experience, 6 years as a defensive coordinator, so he gets it. He understands calling defenses. He understands adjustments, and he can have a lot of input, especially since he and Charlton have been together in the same defense. He produced 20 defensive backs that have played in the NFL. Every young corner in recruiting and on our team wants to play in the NFL. So that helps that he has produced guys and put them in that position. And he's mentored 20 all-conference selections, including 9 first-team picks. And he's helped his team win 5 conference championships, and he's been to 14 bowl games. So he has a world of experience in really good programs, and especially in the SEC, the Big 12, and the Big 10. So he gets it. He's been in big ball games. His wife, Keisha, is from Chapel Hill, so he spent a lot of time in Chapel Hill. She went to Chapel Hill High School. I didn't know it. She was a cheerleader with my daughter, Catherine, in the small world of things. In fact, Catherine sent pictures of Keisha at our house with sleepovers, and they won the state championship, and I didn't know any of this until we had already hired Jason. So it's she's excited about coming back, and since he came back, he gets to stay married. And I've had trouble finding him because all the aunts and the uncles and the cousins and the nephews and the nieces have been trying to get him to come and dinner and come watch him play basketball and all of that. So this is perfect for us.
Mack,
so,
you said he's coaching safeties. Did you mean corners?
Excuse me. Yes, if I said it that way. Yes, I'm sorry. Charlton will be coaching safeties and Jason will be coaching corners. I'm sorry. I said that backwards. But definitely Jason will be coaching corners and Charlton will be coaching safeties. And that's what they've done in the past. So at that time, Jason, come on up and I'll let you get to know our guys. Catherine.
Catherine, okay, thank you.
Yes.
Make sure I got the right number.
What a coincidence. Small town Chapel Hill.
Small town Chapel Hill. Nobody to think it. So when I found that out, he'd already said he was coming, but I said, I ought to use that, man. I'd have cut his salary.
He's right.
He'd already got it. He had it scout.
Yeah, but, welcome, and we're glad Jason's here.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, do me a favor, since it's Jason's first time, go ahead, give me your name and who you work for when you answer the questions.
Okay.
You guys go ahead and fire away unless you have something you want to say.
Well, first of all, just thanks for being here, and I'm excited. Like Coach Brown was saying, even though I've coached a lot of different places, my wife and I, we still consider Chapel Hill home. Like during the off season, during the summer, she has family here in town, so we always come back and visit and get a chance to visit with her family. And so I'm just thrilled about the opportunity. Thankful for Coach Brown to allow me to be a part of this staff. I'm just looking forward to getting to work, and can't wait till we start spring practice.
Andrew Jones, Tar Heel Illustrated. What, aside from that, what lured you here? Was it the relationship with Coach Warren? Was it the familiarity of kind of getting a running start already knowing some terminology that Mack was just talking about?
Well, one of the things, like I said, my wife, we've always followed, North Carolina football, basketball. No matter where we were, we always tracked it and followed it. And, Coach Brown in the coaching world is a coach that you always, he's been like a mentor that you look up to, that you sort of watch from afar. I was at Oklahoma State when he was at Texas, and we had some battles on Saturdays, and they would beat us and things like that. So I've always admired him, and then having the opportunity to come be a part of his program, that was one of the things that really drew me to North Carolina, and especially where the program is going right now. It's going in the right direction. Recruiting is going well. Winning football games. Just played in a conference championship game. So all of those things was a lot of the reasons why I wanted to be a part of the program.
Was it an easy decision?
It was an easy decision. It was. I talked to, having a relationship with Coach Warren, because even when he was at Georgia, I was at Ole Miss, so just recruiting against each other. Then one year, 2021, he came to Indiana as our defensive coordinator, so we got a year to work underneath each other. So we had a relationship, with each other. Also, even Coach Chizik, he was at Auburn when I was at Ole Miss, so I know I was familiar with him, and things like that. So it was an easy decision. It was.
Coach Tommy Ashley of Inside Carolina. Ross has got his camera in front there. Your room is a lot of new guys as well. Can you just talk about, this is not how it normally works. When you switch jobs, you come into a set room, now you have basically a clean slate and with a lot of new guys.
Mm-hmm. Well, now I think the world that we're in now, with the transfer portal and things like that, every room could possibly be new. I've had a chance, like last week, spent 2 or 3 days just sitting down, just talking to the guys, getting to know them. And I tell you, I'm blessed to have a great room, great group of young men. Watch them work out. I mean, they're out there in the mornings working hard, busting their tails, and I'm excited just to have the opportunity to work with them. I think they're hungry. They want to do everything they can to continue to take the program to the next level, and also to take their game to the next level. And so it's a great group of young men, and they've been great, where they've accepted me and asked questions. I ask questions. They give me answers. I think answers that they're not worried about. I'm gonna just say what I think Coach want to hear. They're honest answers, and so I think it's been really good. So I'm excited, and I'm happy with the guys that I have.
Jason, I'm Adam Smith. I'm with Inside Carolina also. Nice to meet you. Just wondering, how would you describe your coaching philosophy, your approach to developing guys and coaching them? Just how would you talk about yourself as a coach?
I think one of the things that I try to do is just try to get to know the young men, because it's more than just football. Winning games is important, and helping them develop and become the best player that they could possibly be is also important. But one of the things that I've always done is try to get to know them as a person, and find out about mom, dad, or if it's grandma, if it's uncle, and find out, try to dive into their lives and find out what's going on in their lives. And because we're going to push them in practice, and you're going to push them on game day, and once a young man finds out you care about him more as a person than just a football player, then they'll go above and beyond, and they'll play hard for you. Because we think of them as football players, and they're big, strong, tough guys, which they are. But they still have to deal with things in their lives. It could be the death of a grandma or something like that, or mom and dad could have something going on at home, or whatever it is, and they need to have someone that they feel they can sit down and talk to about the things that they're dealing with. And so that's been my approach over the years. It's worked for me, and then the guys like when I challenge them or when I push them, it's out of love, and it's not because hey, coach just doesn't like me, right? No, coach is pushing me because he cares about me.
Jason, this is C.L. Brown with the Raleigh News and Observer. This may be getting way too out in front for right now, but I was curious in terms of rotating. Is your philosophy in developing or wanting two main starting corners and then just kind of guys to relieve them, or how do you kind of view how you rotate in a corner?
Well, and this is something we've talked about a little bit as a defensive staff, and even Coach Brown has touched on it, is you have to have depth, in order to make a run and to win those games late in the season. You play the same two guys. It's a physical sport, right? Usually their bodies are worn down, and injuries start to creep in, and guys are more likely to get injured if they're playing every snap. So we do want to play a lot of guys, because the more guys you can play, the healthier they'll be, and I think it's good for the room. I think it's good for the room, and so like right now, everything is there's no depth chart. I'm new, and I told everybody when I met with them, everybody has a clean slate. So I don't care what happened before I got here. Right now, that's all I got here last Thursday. From last Thursday forward, that's all I'm concerned about, and so the decisions that we made is based on that. So I do want to play a lot of guys, because I think that's going to help us stay healthy. It's going to help us be a better defense.
Coach, Michael Coe with WCHL in Chapel Row here in Chapel Hill.
since you got here last Thursday, what is the part of either Chapel Hill or the UNC football program specifically that really jumped out at you in person that you didn't quite get from just following it from afar?
Well, the biggest thing I think that you can see, you know, when you come into the building as you go around town is just the love for the program. And it's not just football, basketball also, but just the love. And there's a commitment where they want all sports to excel. And so that's the biggest thing, just being here for a few days that you can see right away. There's a commitment and there's a love in the community for the program.
Ross Martin, Inside Carolina. You mentioned Coach Warren being one of the reasons why you came back or came here. You coached with him for 1 year in Indiana. Mm-hmm. What do you like about his coaching style? What drew you to work with him again? How's y'all's relationship? Obviously, y'all be working close together.
Well, we have a pretty good relationship. Like I said, I was at Ole Miss, he was at Georgia, so we always would bump into each other on the recruiting trails. 2020, during COVID, our defensive staff spent a lot of time with their defensive staff on Zoom calls, just sharing different ideas. And then 2021, he was able to join join the staff there at Indiana. And so I think we have a pretty good relationship where I know what he likes and the techniques that we want to teach. We speak the same language. The defense that we're running, I've been in it. So as far as the communication and things like that, so I think he and I have a really good relationship, and so I'm looking forward to working with him.
You said that everyone has a clean slate right now, but have you had a chance to watch? There's a lot of guys from different places that weren't all here in North Carolina. Have you had a chance to watch some of them on film just to kind of see what you're dealing with in that room?
Yeah, had a chance to watch some film and just watch the guys and just to watch them play and things that you see on film, it's things that can be corrected. It may be your second year in running a defense. Usually you're a lot better. Sometimes it boils down to just technique, just fundamentals and things like that. Those are things that we'll work on this spring. So the things I've seen on film, everything can be corrected. And the one thing about them, the effort. I mean, the guys, they play hard. They fly around when you watch the film, chasing the football. Even in the workouts, when you go watch them work out, I mean, they're finishing, they're doing all the little things the right way. And so it's been good. Yeah.
In your discussions with Mack and with Gene and Coach Warren, I guess, what were some of the things they communicated to you that had to be fixed in that room, especially from a teaching technique standpoint, that you will hit on right away that you can make an immediate difference with?
One of the things talking to Coach Chiswick and Coach Brown and Coach Warren, the biggest thing was just technique, just playing with better technique. At times when the ball is in the air as a corner, you got to be in position where, if you're in position, you got to be able to play the ball, get your eyes around, you got a chance to intercept it, or get the pass break up, and like Coach Brown said, we got to do a better job of tackling. As a corner, a lot of times you're going to be out there on the perimeter, and we're going to ask them to play man-to-man, but at times when you have to tackle, you got to tackle. And so those are all the things, same things that he spoke about when he was up here. Those are the things that we discussed, and those are the things that we're going to work on this spring to get fixed.
Coach Brian Murphy with WRL. I wonder, you've been around, you've obviously followed this program, you've been around the country in a lot of spots. What is the sense of where this program is and what North Carolina football is, from around the country?
From the outside world,
yeah,
it's one of the top programs in the country. Just even in recruiting, just being here the last couple of days and talking to high school coaches and talking to recruits and things like that, the excitement around the country is the highest it's ever been, you know, and so recruits are excited, just eager about having the opportunity to come on campus and watch spring practice, or just coming up and spending a weekend and things like that. So the excitement around the country is awesome.
Is that Coach Brown related, or what's that tied to?
I think it's I think it's Coach Brown and him coming here and the vision that he's had for the program, and now you're seeing the vision start to take off. And as a high school recruit, you know, you're watching college football and you just see North Carolina just taking off. And so high school, the recruits, they want to be a part of it. So it's just his vision, and you look at the history, and everywhere he's been, he's won, you know. And so I think it's a combination of all of that.
Jason, North Carolina's had a high-profile, as you said, for a long time, but they've also, with that profile, kind of their reputation is that they're not tough enough in certain parts of the game. And nice, great kids, not tough enough, giving up a lot of yards in the air over the years. What, you know, the term headhunters is used for defensive backs a lot of times, you know. Is that something that if you see that's, how do you change that?
Well, I think the way you change that, that's just it's just a mentality, and it starts, and you see it in the workouts, in the morning workouts, where the guys are being pushed, you know, and then if they don't finish or if they don't do it right, hey, go back, boom, you do it again. And the winter workouts, what they're doing right now in the winter program, that'll carry over into spring practice, and we're going to push them and we're going to challenge them in spring practice to finish and the strain, and it becomes and that's how you slowly and that's how you change it, you know, just demanding it.
Can you teach toughness, or do you have to recruit toughness?
I think it's a little bit I think you recruit toughness, but then sometimes, you know, you may take a young man from a program where, you know, going from high school and then you come to college, the level of commitment and the strain that you have to have, you can also teach him, like, hey, what you did in high school, that was good, but hey, boom, now we got to turn it up a notch. So I think it's you can do both.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Got two transfer corners that just arrived, you know, shortly before you did. Have you gotten time to work with them? We obviously haven't met them either, so what can you tell us about those guys from your?
Well, I haven't had a chance to work with them, but I've had a chance to sit down and visit with them, and both great young men. They're you know, Armani, he'll miss spring because of the shoulder, so he can't go through spring, but they're ready to go to work, and he's working hard in the weight room, but rehabbing, doing everything that he can to get back. And Elijah, he's busting his tail in the weight room, just waiting for spring practice. So I've had a chance to sit down and talk to both of them, and both great young men.
What do you like about working with Charlton? Like, what connects there between you guys? Like, yeah, how does that work?
Well, I think both of us, like, we're demanding, so we know what it takes to be great, and so we push the guys to be great. You know, if a young man says, "Hey, my goal is to play, you know, in the NFL, or I want to be all conference," or whatever it is, right? We both have coached guys that went on to play on Sunday, so we know what it takes. We know how to push them. But at the same time, I think we both we're good teachers, where we can, you know, if a young man is not picking up on what we're doing, just defensively, we both can sit down and explain it to him. And we have an open door policy where you can come up in the mornings and the afternoons. We just make ourselves available so that we can teach them to make sure, I mean, we'll do whatever we have to do in order for the young man to learn. So I think I think we have a lot of things that we both believe in, and a lot of things that we do the same. That just gonna continue to help us be better.
What's your recruiting area? Has that been settled yet?
Haven't been settled yet.
Well, how about this? What's your recruiting style? How do you like to go about acquiring talent in terms of building relationships, and what you look for in a quarterback? I think certain coaches have a different, even physical profile, mental profile, etc.
Well, the biggest thing you look for, you want them to have speed, right? Because speed is the one thing as a coach you can't coach. That's just God-given, right? So speed, and then have to be a competitor, have to be willing to compete every single snap, and they have to have the mentality of a short-term memory. You hear guys say, where something bad happens, boom, hey, throw it in the trash. Let's go play the next play. And size and all that kind of stuff. Everybody wants the size, but I think the speed, the mental toughness, the young man having just naturally being a competitor and he could be shooting marbles and he wants to win shooting marbles. Playing dominoes, he wants to win. Just having that guy, if he's 5'11", 6'2", 6'3", if he has that, then he has a chance. So those are the biggest things that we look for.
And then your recruiting style.
I think it's all about relationships. You have to build relationships, but you build a relationship with every single person. It could be mom, it could be dad, it could be grandma, it could be the uncle, it could be a trainer, it could be the high school coach. And you just got to build a relationship, and everybody has to get to know you, because if they get to know you and they know at the end of the day you're going to take care of that young man, and you're going to have his best interest in hand and make sure that he does what he's supposed to do, on the football field, but also in the classroom, then you're going to have a pretty good chance of getting that recruit.
Good? All right.
Yep.
Thanks, Coach.
No problem. Thank you.
Appreciate it,
You
Jason.
guys still shoot marbles?
I haven't heard that in the press conference before.
It's old school.
I thought you were going to say shooting dice. Okay.
I remember, I'm old enough to remember that day.
All right, see you, man. Nice to meet you.
But he's coming. He's on the second. Amari, I'm going to put you up in front here. So we got this.
Oh, okay, so you know everything about the fans here?
All right, gang. So we got 4 guys around the area. We got Derek Allen in the back corner there. We got Ryan Coe over here. We got Amari Gaynor here, and Elijah Husband in the back. So if you guys just want to work your way around, when one starts to thin out, I'll start swapping in some of the other guys, and we can just keep circling around. Okay? Elijah, go on.
Good. So